they said maybe she's so used to being the queen bee on the show, she didn't want to let you think that you were the queen bee.
I am so excited to chat with you, Dorinda, all about Ultimate Girls Trip. I watched the first few episodes and it is so good. It totally lives up to the hype.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I think it's really good old-fashioned. I mean, listen, these are 8 girls, strong characters individually and powerhouses as a group. And you're going to see that. And that comes out in many different ways, as you're going to see. And, you know, I just am very excited about it. We are all going to have to go through our crucifixion, because what would the show be without it? We're going to all have to climb the cross and have that bad episode. But I'm here for it. I don't think it would be a real show. I mean, they took 8 girls at the end of COVID and locked them in Bluestone Manor. No disrespect to Ultimate Girls Trip 1, but they were at a hotel, a resort. There was no getting away from it here, okay? Morning, noon, and night, it was Bluestone Manor. So I'm excited. And listen, they got an extra character in Bluestone Manor. I had no idea. You know, I think we've spoken of this before, but Bluestone Manor is just beloved.
It is. It really is. It really is. I mean, what was it like? How is this different than filming Housewives? Obviously, you know, you're all hunkered down for, 8 days, nowhere to go.
Because first of all, when Bravo came up here, we would only film 2 nights, 3 days. Totally different. Number 2, it was a smaller group usually, and I knew the women really well. And number 3, it was 8 days. Right after COVID. I have never in my life had anyone stay in my house, especially that large group of girls, for 8 days. And I was really the host from morning to nighttime. I was responsible for these girls. It wasn't like if, you know, my friends come up and they check in and they go to their room and they do their own thing. This was on. And what I loved about it, some more than others, you know, that people were really in it to, you know, have the experience and make a great show.
Yeah, and you really did make it nice. You always do with your.
Well, I didn't always, but you know, that would be expected because, you know, people come and it's a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely. How did you decide the rooms? Who got which room?
That was tough, and I pre-assigned them, but I really tried to, you know, I gave Phaedra the fish room because I wanted to get her opinion as a strong woman. I knew she'd give me her opinion. She loved it. Yep. She loved it. And I put Eva by her because I knew they knew each other. That's how you start. You start with one room and build it out. There's always someone that's not happy because this isn't a hotel. It's a house.
Yeah.
You know, I love when people are like, well, I mean, I wish it were a hotel, but it's not. It's a house. So you kind of do your best. And yeah, I just did my best.
You did your best and you did a great job. A lot of people thought Brandy was going to be the biggest drama starter coming into that. Who were you kind of on the fence about when you first started?
Well, it wasn't I was on the fence. I just was, you know, a little bit like, oh my God, I have people coming for 8 days. First of all, I think everybody was a little bit weird after COVID, right? We all were a little isolated. So I was like, how's this going to work? Because, you know, my life was sort of like hanging out with Hannah, seeing my parents and my friend that was staying with me. I thought, God, there were certain people I knew better than others. And I was just like, God, I hope they're going to be happy. It's a big responsibility. I was lucky enough to know Tamara and Jill and Brandy. I had never met Taylor. So can you imagine? She comes all the way here from the West Coast, not knowing what to expect. Yeah. I don't know how she's going to feel about it. I'd met Phaedra once on Watch What Happens Live. I didn't know how she was going to feel about it because remember, they're coming from very different parts of the country. And New England is a very unique place, and Bluestone Manor is a very unique place, and it's very self-contained. And, you know, we're in the country. I mean, the Berkshires, listen, are incredible. You know, it's got the Boston Symphony. It's got, you know, all kinds of Shakespeare and Company, Red Lion Inn, you know, the Marivelle. But as far as Bluestone Manor, it's on 18 acres, and it is what it is. It's my country house in the country. So I have a love and appreciation for it, but I was hoping and praying that everybody else would get it.
Right. And, you know, some people didn't. Obviously, Vicki did not get it. Were you surprised that she had so much to say about Bluestone Manor?
What I was surprised about is that when I watched the first episode is it started before she even got to the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it, and there's nothing worse than when you try so hard. I mean, what people don't know is my starting setup of this getting it ready was about 8 days, 9 days before. Production showed up like almost 8 days, 9 days before. There was about over 106 people here.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It was a much bigger production. There were drones, there were porta potties, there were command stations, there were COVID places. There was its own electrical unit because they were blowing out the electricity because there was so much. There was its own cell phone. So, me just helping to work with them to get it ready was almost like its own production, right? So by the time people got at the house, I was already sort of working for 8 days, but I really wanted to do everything I could to welcome them with the gift baskets and personalize it. And to sort of from right off the bat to have her just sort of not be enthusiastic about it was really like heartbreaking because it's so unexpected because all the other girls, they really, even if they didn't feel it, you felt like they all kind of put their best foot forward.
Right. Yeah. What did you make of Vicki's latest thing about what she said about Bluestone Manor, or like what, kind of going back and forth about what was said in the press? What was your kind of reaction to that?
Well, I think her timing's terrible because, she said it last week and now people are going to see the first 2 episodes and realize I don't know about you, but when they did those opening shots.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And people get to see Bluestone Manor, I think now in a light they never saw it. Because remember, Bravo would do great shots, but it would be more like microfilming in the living room, in the dining room. And it was November, and the pool was closed, and there was no maze, and there was no outdoor stuff. Yeah. That I think, the expansive view, you can see it's an estate, it's a manor. It's like really is. Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to be difficult now because Bluestone Manor's loved. It's like going after Disneyland.
It is. I mean,
going after the Disney Castle,
Right. Well, I mean, you're right, because she did say that, she never said anything bad about your home, but she does in the first couple episodes. So yeah, I know.
That we got to back up on that. She says, listen, I don't like the things Dorinda like. It's an old house in the middle of nowhere with nothing to do. That sentiment is not positive. Would you say that?
No.
Even if you didn't like it, would you say that?
No.
All right. She opened, now did I clap back? Absolutely. I mean, there's different tastes. People like different things. I don't, particularly from what I've seen of what she does. But that's why I said in Portrait of Raja, I wouldn't like that lifestyle. But I wouldn't have said anything unless she said something about my house. This house is historic. This house was, built in an era where, they can't even make houses like this. It's decorated to an inch of its perfection. I mean, Wall Street Journal has been here. Architectural Digest has been here. So this is not my opinion. This is the opinion of many. Yeah. So to try to bring it down to make yourself feel better, or to try to bring it down to make me look bad, or to make Bluestone Manor look bad, I just think is very malicious. Right. Yeah. Do you feel like she's jealous at all? Well, someone said something today on an interview that, because she said that she wrote me like 5,000 texts and left me all these voicemails and stuff. But listen, they said maybe she's so used to being the queen bee on the show, she didn't want to let you think that you were the queen bee, right? It's a lot. Listen, I am very blessed. I have a lot. Mm-hmm. I have this beautiful home here. I have a beautiful life in New York City, a great apartment there, and I don't know. I just think maybe she came up here at that time and wasn't very happy, and maybe it was all too much. And I found it very weird that she keeps referring to my house here as something that was gifted to me. I mean, my husband died. It's not a gift. Not a gift, no. No, that's not a gift. That's not how you refer to this. I would much prefer for him to be here with me, enjoying it like our original intent. It's not like Richard's like, well, I want to give you a gift and I'm going to, bury myself. That's terrible to say. Yeah. So the whole sort of referencing it, old, in the middle of nowhere, gifting it, it just brought a very negative tone to it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that she was in a bad headspace because of her breakup, or do you?
Yes, but then, as my mother said, if you don't want to be somewhere and you're not going to be good company, stay home.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Garibaldi, the host of Us Weekly Celebrity Coverage. Don't forget to hit subscribe for the latest celebrity news, tips, and video. And for much more content, make sure you head on over to usmagazine.com, the official home of Us Weekly magazine.